To you live from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. It's February, first day of the month here, February 1st, 2026. I know you're in the US, Canada, you guys are a day behind. You're still January 31st, but here in the Philippines, we are now in the month of February, the month of love, Valentine's, the month of love here in the Philippines and around the world. I'm pretty sure it's celebrated Valentine's, but here in the Philippines, Valentine's is pretty big here. They celebrate it. If you go to the malls now, they got like hearts everywhere. They're trying to sell you stuff for Valentine's already this time of the year. Hey, yo, 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 Tim, my good friend, my brother in Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. What's up, man? Hey, man, congratulations again, Tim. I know you're proud. You're proud of Justin enlisting in the United States military, man. I'm proud for him, man. That is awesome, man. I always tell people, if you're starting out in the United States, if you're a high school graduate and maybe college is not for you, man, the best route to a successful life in America is join the military, man. You're gonna become a man in the military. They're gonna teach you. You're gonna gain experience. Right out of high school, man. You're gonna learn a job. You're gonna learn a trade, and just the pride itself. I remember, man. I remember when I was 17 and I joined the military. And right after basic training, I was wearing my uniform, my service dress uniform, graduating from basic training in Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. And I was flying out to California to my base, George Air Force Base. Man, I remember wearing that uniform at the airport with my suitcase. People were like, shaking my hand. Hey, good on you, son. Everybody's like proud of you, man. That's a memory that I will never forget. And ever since then, with my 20 years in the military, in the United States military, anytime I had to travel and I was wearing my uniform, carrying my duffel bag, you're at the airport, man, you just got that swag, man. When you're walking in the airport, like nobody can like touch you, man. There's a certain pride serving in the United States military. And I'm sure I'm sure he will feel that once he graduates from a basic training. Fortune, hey, my brother in Bacoor in Cavite. Good AM, Ginno fam and the Panay Posse. Hey, good AM, Fortune. Rainy day here, man. I woke up this morning. I took a mom and Leanna to church already. They like going to like the 6 a.m. service. I already took them to church. They should be popping in here. Like usually they come home by about 7:30. But it was pouring earlier, man. It was like raining here. I was looking at the first the Pag-asa website. It says here for Visayas, again, we're part of Visayas here, we're Western Visayas. Visayas, Bicol, Quezon, Oriental Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon. Cloudy skies with scattered rains and isolated thunderstorm. Because of the shear line, there's not like a low pressure area, tropical depression or anything like that. So no typhoons headed towards the Philippines. It's just, I guess, regular rain. Yeah, it says here, possible flash floods, moderate to heavy rain. And this morning, it was pouring pretty good here in Numancia, Mindanao, and the rest of Mimaropa, Metro Manila, rest of Luzon, partly cloudy skies with isolated rain showers. So pretty much Metro Manila, Mindanao, Visayas, pretty much the entire Philippines today is gonna experience some rain, different areas. On the Windy app, and I also watch Westpac. Westpac is like an American that does weather weather prediction for the Philippines. And he's predicting like within a week's time, within the next week, to expect like a low pressure area, maybe even a tropical depression. I guess right now it's developing somewhere close to Guam, so it's headed our way. So maybe sometime this coming week we might see a tropical depression. Tropical depression here in the Philippines, when they say tropical depression, it counts as a typhoon. They'll make a name for it. There's already names for all the typhoons. We went to so far one this year in January, Typhoon Ada, ADA, and then the next one is going to be letter B, Bravo. I think it's Basyang or something. They already have names for all these typhoons that's gonna come through the Philippines. But right now, it's only a prediction. No guarantee that there will be a tropical depression in February, this month of February. Here locally with the weather here, 23 degrees Celsius, so about 73 degrees. Quite cool. We've been having cool temperatures here in Aklan province. Unusual for us this time of year, but I'm just enjoying it. I'm enjoying the rain. I'm enjoying the cooler temperatures, because I know the minute it starts getting warm here or starts getting hot towards like the end of February, it's gonna stay hot. March, April, May, it's gonna go from hotter, hottest. It's just gonna be like insanely hot here. So I'm enjoying, my cup of coffee with a cooler temperature with some rain, man. It's all good. I'm enjoying this today. Colonel, hey, good morning, Ginno, Fortune, sportsmanship, sports fans, and all YouTube beneficiaries. Yeah, I like that word, man. I haven't heard that word in a while, man. Beneficiaries. That's a common term for for TRICARE beneficiaries or military dependents beneficiaries. That's a common term. That's funny, Colonel. Sports fans, autocorrect, add it again. All right, no worries. I figured it was sports fans. Colonel. Emilio, hey, Emilio. Good morning, Emilio. Let me see here. All right, so I've done the weather. Rainy day. I always try to start the live stream with the weather. All right. The dollar exchange, people ask that too. The dollar exchange, $1 is 58.84. So dip a little below 59, but for us here, man, it's still pretty high. Anything over 55 for me is a high exchange rate here in the Philippines. But at 58, man, it's still awesome. That's an awesome exchange rate here in the Philippines. There you go. Vaughn, hey, I like being a beneficiary. Hey, man, it's like I wish I could be a beneficiary of something, I could benefit from something, man. Bizwax, hey, my brother, my good friend in Davao City. Good AM, Ginno and everyone. Hope all is well in Davao, man. Vaughn, all right. Emilio, San Diego. Emilio's in San Diego. It was warm the past, during the early mornings here, it's about 70 degrees. It does warm up to like 80s, mid 80s, but not the summer weather yet. We know when it's summer weather here in the Philippines. You can tell the minute the sun comes up in the morning. Like I said, towards the end of February here, big first week of March. The minute the sun comes up in the morning, that's why I try to do everything early, before the sun is up, because the minute the sun goes up, it doesn't take long to get to 90-degree temperature or 100-degree temperature. By 9 a.m., usually it's over 90 degrees already during the summer months here. Gino, Copico Blanca, all is well. I know. My coffee with Gino and my Copico Blanca, man. I know you do a little extra for your Copico Blanca, Colonel, but I stick with like the original. I just like my Copico Blanca in hot water. I know you put a twist to it. I haven't gotten to that level yet. One, hello everyone. Bill Meyer, prayers, Bill Meyer. One, the Expat Information Network can be a reality. Whether exchange your, I know, right? Meetup events, farming, enhanced quality channel, and so I know. Like there's like I know. Michael and Kat and Laura, they're in Boracay, that Philippine side. James and Karen's in Boracay Island. And somebody mentioned to me, Rock and Jazz also are in Boracay. So everybody's meeting up. Man. Me, man, I'm still sick. Unfortunately, I got how many? I got two more of this antibiotic, man. This Cipro, two more Cipro, and my 14 days is up being on Cipro, and so this coming week I'll have to get blood work, unfortunately, because I've been on Cipro for 14 days, and anytime I'm on any kind of medication, I have to get my creatinine level, blood work done, make sure my kidneys are still functioning properly, because I'm like, after my chemo treatments, my kidneys, I can't take a lot of medication. That's why I'm not on any prescription medication. People are actually surprised when I tell them that I went through 12 chemo treatments, 33 radiation treatments. But after my treatments, I have not taken a single prescription medication after that. No high blood pressure, no diabetes, no nothing. Not a single prescription medicine, because I gotta watch my kidneys now, because the chemo that put like permanent damage to my kidneys. So now every time I have to drink any medication, once I'm done, I have to make sure my kidneys are still functioning correctly. So I'm pretty sure this week I got to get my blood work done, and then I'm going to go see the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat doctor, to make sure. I haven't suffered any ear pain, so I think as far as like the ear infection is gone, but I still can't hear properly. It's like I still everything's still not normal with my hearing, but it is what it is, man. It's part of aging. It's part of aging. It's like these things I never had to worry about when I was younger. That's why I tell people, man, enjoy your 20s, 30s, 40s. Enjoy those years, because man, once you hit that 50s, that what is that that check engine light that comes on, man. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, we all have to go through it. So it's not like I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything. We all know it. That's why for me, I'm glad that I was able to retire early here in the Philippines, because I was able to enjoy my life, man. When I retired here at 45, man, I was like the fittest I've ever been in my life. I was mountain biking here in the Philippines, 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, easy. I was running on the beach, 10-kilometer run on the beach, piece of cake. I was swimming in the ocean. I could still do all those things. Now, I'll be 60 this year. I can't do those things anymore. So, but I'm glad I was able to do it. I'm glad I was able to experience it. That's why I tell people all the time, man, if you can retire early, there's some way financially, you have a pension, something where you can retire early, man. I don't get it when people say, well, I gotta work, working, I can't, to me, man, for me personally, working sucks, man. I would not wish working on anyone, man. If I had a choice between working and not working, that's my vote, man. I've never been happier till the last day I worked in my life. When I left my job in Tucson, Arizona, at St. Mary's Hospital, that was the great one. Looking back, that's like 15 years ago now. That was the best day of my life, man. It's like, see ya. It's like, see ya. Emilio, that's how we get sick, from cold in the morning, then hot in the afternoon. All right, hey, hello from the North Pole. Woo, North Pole, man. I must be cold up there, man. Stay warm, my friend. Good morning, sir. James Cabral, good morning, good morning. Been cutting back, Ginno. Okay, all right, Colonel. I know what you're cutting back on. All right, Colonel. Michael M. Good morning, brother. Good morning, my brother in Northern California. Hey, I was just speaking to a good friend of mine, Vincent. He's retired Air Force too. He's in Sacramento, California. I did a video call with him earlier. He's headed back to the Philippines. He splits his time, like this time. He's arriving in March. He's Filipino American. Been retired many years. So he splits his time between Sacramento and the Philippines. So we just video chatted. He was just updating me. He said he's going to go to Angeles City. He's going to go to Tagaytay. He's going to go to Cebu. He's going to go to Moalboal. He's going to go to Bacolod. And then in April, I'll meet him. In Iloilo City in April. So met him before. He was here last year. Got to hang out with Vincent. Great guy. It's like he used to be a cop in the Air Force. 20 years a cop in the Air Force. Then he became a cop in Sacramento, and then he retired as a police officer too in Sacramento. So now he's fully retired, just enjoying his life, splitting time between the U.S. and the Philippines. I'm looking forward to meeting him. He's a great friend of mine. He's like one of my, I guess my bros, one of my bros. Fortune, goodbye, Colonel Emilio, Vaughn, Biz, and Bill. Z-Pack, baby. Yeah, I heard about that Z-Pack, man. I can't be taking things like that. Like, again, I don't even take multivitamins. I'm even careful with that because, my kidneys, man, everything has to be all natural with me. I can't be taking any kind of medication or anything. Bill Meyer, Ford, hello. Dude, where are you from? Dude, I'm from the Philippines, brother. I'm here in Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Good AM, Michael M. Fortune, hello. All right. Michael M. Good morning, Sir Fortune. Emilio, any better than Espanola apartment that you can recommend? I'm thinking about to retire soon. Emilio, unfortunately, that's the best Calibo has to offer as far as like close to Western standard apartment here in Calibo. The closest you're gonna get is La Casa Española. This is not a city. If you're looking for more Western style living, probably better go to Iloilo City. They have more condominiums, better apartments. Calibo is just like it's not there yet as far as being a city, as far as being Western amenities. Vaughn, Fortune can host a history, culture, Filipino tradition episode. For sure, man. That would be awesome. Man. Vaughn, congratulations, Emilio. What do you do to accumulate a retirement, if I may ask? The Colonel was so happy when I retired. Yeah, see ya. I know, right, Colonel? People always tell me, it's like, they're all, the thing when I communicate with people, Colonel, when I talk to people about, they're thinking about retiring in the Philippines. Yesterday was a perfect example. There's a guy that was on the live stream saying that he's 100% VA disabled. So he's like debating on whether to retire, or I'm like, Dude, with that kind of money, what are you doing? If you're already 100% VA disabled, you're getting at least $4,000 a month. What are you still doing working? It's like, to me, I do not get that. Maybe, certain circumstances, maybe they got kids, maybe they got to support child support or whatever. But man, if you're like by yourself, you're single, you got $4,000 a month, and you're still working. What are you working towards? Are you trying to like build more wealth for what? It's like, for me, you have enough money to retire. It's like, you will never regret it. The people that I've helped here, none of them have ever regretted saying that, man, I wish I was still working. Most of them, when I talk to them, all of them tell me, it's like, man, I should have done this sooner. I had enough money 5-10 years ago. I had enough money, because like I said, as we get older, you hit that 50, man. You hit that 50s, you start 50s, 60s. Man, that check engine light starts to come on. You're gonna have to start going to the hospital more. You're gonna have to go check up more. Hey, mom. Hey, Leanna. They're home.
Hello.
Hey, Leanna. There's Leanna. It's hard to enjoy life, man, once you start getting older. The sooner you can retire, man, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's like Colonel, right, Colonel? Hey, he's like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, Derek, aloha, Derek, aloha, brother, aloha. Hey, Derek, Ted, good morning, Ginno and all. Good morning, Ted. Hey, Colonel, good morning. Stock and 401k bond. Yeah, man, if you got stock, you got 401k, man. Just fund your retirement until you get Social Security. It's like, why kill yourself and stress and, get sick, and you know this, Emilio, when you're in a stressful work environment, if you can afford to retire, just, you got to like budget a little bit, because if you're not getting Social Security yet, but you could do it. I've seen it now, man. My friend Robbie, he's my age. He's been here 2.5 years. He don't collect Social Security yet, but he's retired here in the Philippines. Just met his fiance, getting married this year. Found a good life here, man. To me, it's like a easy decision to make. If you got the money, I don't know what's holding you back if you have the money to retire. That's cool, Emilio. Tap the thumbs up, folks. Help our brother out. Help our brother out. Help our brother out. Thank you, Colonel. Can you tour me Iloilo? Sure, Emilio. I mean, I can't promise you the date because I don't know what the date you come to Iloilo, but I'll show you around Iloilo. I mean, we can make if you really are interested of finding a place in Iloilo. But I think, knowing you already, you're looking for a more American lifestyle. You want to at least check out Iloilo before you decide on Calibo. Fortune, Calibo is a big first-class town and nearing a city. I think need to bring population to 150K from 100K, but improved infrastructure. It's gonna, I would say, Fortune, would not surprise me if Calibo within the next 5 years, maybe 5 years, becomes a city. The development, they're building things in Calibo. The new public market's going to be awesome. Now Robinson's Mall is coming into Calibo. That's going to be a big piece of Calibo. We got Asia Pacific Medical Center. I'm not in a hurry for it to become a city, to tell you the truth, because I'm already seeing the traffic now in Calibo because it's growing from when I moved here 15 years ago. It's a lot getting a lot bigger. Emilio said hi, Vaughn. VA, 100% VA, yes. Yeah, man, if you got $4,000, brother, and you can't retire in the Philippines, you gotta like start checking your life. You got $4,000 a month here in the Philippines. That's a quarter of a million pesos a month. If you can't live that here in the Philippines, maybe you need to like evaluate some of the things in your life. Maybe you're not living your life well. Maybe you got to give up some things in your life that is costing you like 240,000 pesos a month. Hi Ginno, hi everyone. Pinay Hard, hey Pinay Hard, my good friend in Oceanside, California. Hello Pinay. Agree, Ginno. 100% VA. Retire already and chill out over there. Yeah, right. To me, I don't get it, Colonel, because like if you're 100% VA retired, you got a disability. Basically, you got a disability, right? You're 100% disabled in the VA, in the Veteran Administration's eye. You're getting $4,000 a month and some other benefits too. There's not 4,000. Your spouse, your kids, you're getting benefits, and I'm looking at that. It's like, so why are you still working? It's like if you're disabled, why are you still working? What are you shooting for? Are you shooting for a mansion? For like I guess everybody's different. But you can have a great life here in the Philippines with your VA 100% disability here, man. There's no reason to be working anymore. Great life for you. Great if you got a wife, if you got kids. Great life for them here. That to me, that's an easy decision. That's not, to me, that's like Belus. Good morning, Ginno, Master Fortune, Vaughn, Emilio, Big Brother, Pinay, Ted and all. Hey, Belus, my brother in Leyte. Raining here, man. It's raining here in the Aklan. I don't know where this rain came from because we've been getting sunshine. I was in Boracay for like 4 days and nothing but sunshine. All of a sudden, February 1st, we got rain. Hi, Belus, Ted. Good morning, beautiful. All right. Fortune, good AM. Derek, Ted, LV, Philippine Heart. I do understand that when work for money defines a person, people have to address what are you going to do for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. What for money is pretty chill, minimal stress. What Indu? Okay. What are you going to do? Man, I can find easier way than work. If I had to choose one of working and finding something to do for 8 hours a day, I can find something. It is not hard for me to find something to do for 8 hours, man. And I don't think it's a problem for most people that retire early. Most people that retire early, it is not you start just like enjoying everything, man. You start enjoying walking at sunrise, walking at sunset. You enjoy going to a cafe, sitting at a cafe, and just sit there for an hour and a half, just enjoying a cup of coffee, not thinking about anything because you're retired. You can sleep in. You can after this live stream, if I decide, well, it's kind of rainy, I'm going back to bed. I'm going to take a long nap. You can do those kind of things. You can read. You can do so many things. When you're working, we all have to work, right? I understand that dynamic. We all have to work. We all have to earn money because for us to be able to retire someday, to have a pension. So to me, that's why I retired early because I already got the pension. For me, when I got my military pension at age 37, I worked another 7-8 years in Tucson, but I realized like, why am I still working? I already have a pension where I knew if I come to the Philippines, I was by myself, I was single, I can live really well here on my military pension, and I have, so for me, what was the whole point if I continued working in the United States? So I will have more money, so I will build wealth, but I'm just not built like that. I'm not like into the money, it's like, I love the simple life. I love living a stress-free life. And I think most people, man, once they remove work in the equation, if they, like I said, you got to afford now, you can't just stop working and now can afford retirement. But if there's a way for you to retire Emilio got 401k, got stocks, got savings, and you can fund your retirement until you hit Social Security age. I don't know what's holding him back. I don't know what's holding him back because like the stress that you're putting yourself to when you're working, trying to get to 62 in an early retirement Social Security, the stress that you're putting yourself through, man, it can make you sick. And I have seen it so many times. People get sick because of stress, you know. I don't see many people getting sick when they're retired, you know. It just happens, unfortunately, when we age, you know, like the older we get, you know, it's like, but it's not illnesses that all of a sudden happens, like a heart attack, you know. It's hard to have a heart attack when you're just like chilling all the time. But when you're at work, when you're in meetings, when you're in a stressful environment, pressure at work, man, I could see like if you're already like got high blood pressure, it's not hard for you to get a heart attack in that situation. So why even put yourself in that situation if you can afford it? If you can afford not to work anymore, I don't know what the deal is like to keep on working. But I'm going to retire at age 57. Hey, that's a good retirement age, Vaughn. 57, that's a good retirement age. That's at least you're still in your 50s. You're still gonna be hopefully in decent shape, you know, because like most people, you talk to most people now, you know, when you hit that 60, that mark 60, everything just don't function the way it used to at 60. You're gonna need at 60. You're gonna need more checkups. You know, there's gonna be like those bodily checkups that aren't fun. You know, blood work, MRIs. You know, heart. You know, like echocardiograms. You know, you start having to go through all these checks just to keep you healthy. 57, not bad. Nope, that's not bad, Bon. Good morning, Belu's Fortune. Beautiful. All right, Colonel. Ted. Good morning, Fortune. Emilio will like Iloilo. I think so. I think Calibo might just not have all the niceties because he's coming from San Diego. So he's coming from a nice city. It's quite a drop from living in San Diego to now living in Calibo. I mean, Ruben does it. Ruben, he's from San Diego. Now he's in Calibo. He's been in Calibo for a year and he loves it. But I can see the big decline, like as far as services, as far as things that you're used to. It would be, I think, a softer landing for you, Emilio, if you pick Iloilo City than Calibo. Welcome to the jungle, Belus. Welcome to the jungle. I have seen your mayor, Kulas friend. He's young, energetic. Surely he has a vision. Yes. He's a graduate of Letran, man. He's a Dugong Arriba. We're from the same alma mater, man. The mayor of Calibo. Young guy, very energetic. A good vision for Calibo. I've seen it, you know, during his he's going on his second term. I've just seen massive improvements in Calibo. The Esplanade, now we have a new public market. Now Robinson's is coming in. You can just see like the cleanliness. Even our roads in Calibo even has those reflective things at night now. I mean, like, you know, at least he's doing things. You know, he's doing things to improve Calibo. Absolutely, Ginno. Got tired of the rat race and retired 3 years ago with a company pension. Next year, I'll start collecting social at same thing, man. You know me, man. I'm like 2 years away from my Social Security, so I'll be collecting my Social Security. My friend, he's in he keeps moving. You know, my friend is like he was in Boracay, then he went to Bicol. Now he's in Puerto Galera. He just signed up for his Social Security at 62, but he was retired here in the Philippines the last 3 years on a company pension. He worked. He was delivering alcohol. He was delivering alcohol in Vegas and California. But his company had a small pension from his company. He had savings, so He retired here in the Philippines 3 years ago, met a Filipina, married a Filipina, now he's got a good life here. Now he starts his Social Security. So to me, you don't really have to wait. If you got the means, I'm seeing more and more of that anyway. I'm seeing more and more guys now. They're not waiting on Social Security to retire. A lot of guys now, they figured it out that, with 401k, with stocks, with savings, with a nest egg, you can just fund your retirement until you hit 62. If you're close enough. Now I wouldn't recommend if you're like 15 years away from 62, but if you're like within 3-4 years, you can just fund that there. You can just budget here every month, live within your means, let's say $1,000 a month budget. If you're a single guy, you can do easily in the Philippines. That's only $12,000 a year. And if your stocks, 401k, your savings, if you're earning some money from that, you can compensate that $12,000 a year until you get your Social Security. I've seen it happen now. More and more people are doing it now because people are just tired of working. It's like I don't meet many people that are happy with their job or happy with their work. It's like it's getting hard. And I can't even imagine the working environment now in the U.S. When I was still there, at least we didn't have the tension in the U.S. Now it's just gotten crazy, right? You got division with people, angry people. It's like, and I'm sure that sips in the work environment because it's hard not to. If you're like in a work environment, there's going to be people on both sides of the political spectrum, right? They're going to argue at work, or maybe there's like a clause, hey, you can't do that at work. But still, there's there's tension. There's tension in the work environment now. Are you from Iloilo, Fortune? Fortune, congratulations, Biz. Fortune, Emilio, I was born in Iloilo City. Father's side is OG from Iloilo City. Bizwax, thanks, Fortune. How about 1,000 to 1,000 per month? Flyboy, easily, man, easily. If you're single, and the thing is, people will always tell you, oh, you need at least 3,000. You need at least 4,000. If you're single like me, when I came here in the Philippines back in 2011, I knew I wanted to see how I was going to do here in the Philippines, right? I'm not going to splurge. I'm not all of a sudden get here, buy a house, buy a car, buy a motorbike. I'm not going to do that because I wanted to make sure, hey, can I make it in the Philippines financially with my military pension? And I picked Boracay. My first 18 months in the Philippines is Boracay. Not the cheapest place to live in the Philippines, but I'm a beach person. And I knew that I might have to pay more rent in Boracay. And at the time, 2011, I was renting a studio apartment, 10,000 pesos on White Beach, on the best beach in Boracay. And I'm like 50 meters away from the water. I can actually open my door and look at the water, beachfront in Boracay. So me, I was willing to pay for a higher rent because I knew the beach was gonna be my fun. I'm not, I didn't buy a vehicle. I had a mountain bike, my 18 months in Boracay, rode that mountain bike everywhere. And I lived below $1,000. I lived below $1,000 when I was there because, the Carinderia on White Beach back in 2011, I can eat lunch for 60 pesos. I can eat lunch for $1. I can get the Carinderia food, sit on the beach, on White Beach, Boracay, and eat Micaela. Micaela's Carinderia was my favorite on Front Beach during that time. You can do it easily, Flyboy. It's like 1,000, 1,200, especially if you're motivated because you want to make sure, right? You want to make sure if that's all the money that you have, you want to make sure that it's going to be enough. You're not going to splurge on a lot. You're going to live on that. Like for me, the first 3 months, I was living like that. After 3 months in Boracay, I knew, man, I got it made. It's like, here I am, I'm in Boracay Island, living in Boracay Island, and I'm saving half of my military pension every month. I told myself, man, I got it made. It's like, this is easy. And And here I am running on the beach every day, laying out in the sun, like enjoying White Beach during that time. Fortune, you guys making good decisions in life, and it's happy here once you adjust to the Pinoy ways. It is Fortune, and the thing is Fortune. A lot of the people that I've met now at finding good lives here, Edgar, JP, everybody, my friend Robbie, everybody that's finding good lives here, we've paid our dues. It's not like we've earned, it's not like all of a sudden, we didn't pay our dues. We paid our dues, man. I served 20 years in the military. That's not easy. Uh, JP, he was like he was a law enforcement in Washington State for retired law enforcement. Edgar, he was like in the trucking business in the U.S. for many years. So it's not like we didn't earn it. It's just the thing with what we did in the United States, what it's enabled us to like move to a country that's more affordable, that we can live a good life on our pension. And the Philippines is not the only place, right? People go to Mexico, people go to Panama, people go to Colombia. It's like here in Southeast Asia, a lot of people just come to the Philippines. I think, just because it's similar to like America in some ways. It's tropical, it's foreign, but Americans are welcome here. English is well spoken. It's like people choose Thailand, people choose Cambodia. Nothing wrong with that. They can go to those countries, but I think it's an easier assimilation here for people because Filipinos are just friendly and they understand English. It's just a easier transition here. I lived in Japan before. I lived in Korea before. And it's just hard to communicate with people in other like Southeast Asian countries. You can't just go outside and like go to the mini mart and start asking. They're just going to stare at you. Here in the Philippines, you can pretty much go anywhere. They might not speak the perfect English but pretty much anywhere. I know in Panay Island, you can go anywhere here, and any store, any convenience store, sari-sari store, you can at least get your message like, hey, I want a soda, I want a Pepsi, I want a Coke. They'll at least know what you're talking about. Ted, Biz, apply 3 months before your birthday. Yes, Ted. Thank you, Ted. My friend that did that. He applied 3 months before his start date. His start date was actually January, so he applied like in 2025. Thank you for that, Ted. Hey, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to apply, man. I'll just be happy to collect Social Security because just to collect, right? Because unfortunately, not everybody get that privilege to reach that age. I've lost friends, that military friends of mine. I've lost military friends of mine that unfortunately didn't even make it to 62. So me, man, when I sign up for that Social Security, put my name on the dotted line, I'm collecting my Social Security, that first check, man, I might like to frame that check, man, because like we put in money to that, right? But, I was paying Social Security since my high school days, working at Wendy's and Taco Bell, my military days, I put in money to Social Security. So it's actually nice I'm getting close to at least getting some of that money back. Fortune, that's enough, fly, but not Iloilo City. Pick towns or smaller. Yes, Fortune. Great suggestion to fly. Here in Calibo, easily, 1,000, 1,200, you can easily live here in Calibo with that. Exchange rate today, I said it earlier, it's like 58.84. It's held on pretty high, close to 59. It's held on to the high rate. I don't think it's going down anytime soon. I don't think it will. Fortune. Flyboy, it's possible, but not much of a life without a Filipino family taking care of you also. Bizwax, Ted, yes, I agree. Vaughn, I have people at work have 100% VA disability. They are still working because they have nothing else to do. My dad told me we are lucky that we have the Philippines option as Filipino born. Yeah, but for me, they got that option too, Bon, right? Just, I see many expats here. I see Americans here. They're not Filipino and they move here under VA disability. I think, maybe it's just the mentality in the United States. I think a lot of it in the US, when I was still working anyway, they always tell us in the US, oh, you're gonna need $500,000 to retire. You need millions of dollars to retire. But to me, if you got $4,000 a month coming monthly, every month coming in, it's like that's money in the bank. That's like you're not gonna need any more than that. I don't think. Maybe in the U.S. you still need more money than $4,000, but here in the Philippines, man, $4,000. Anybody can tell you here, any expat or anybody here, that's 240,000 pesos a month. If you can't live on that money here in the Philippines, like I said, man, you just got to start evaluating what are you doing with your life. Lucita, good morning, Ginno and family, sending you guys some positive thoughts. All right, Lucita from Maine. Thank you. My good friend in Maine. I always get these messages from Lucita on my messenger. She always sends me have a good day, Ginno. Happy Sunday, and I always respond. I always give her a heart. I always respond to her because to me it's easy. It's I love that I have connections like that with people. I do not mind. Dazzle tells me, she teases me all the time. She tells me my mistress is my phone. Because I reply to a lot of people, but I don't mind, man. It's it's always a good start to my day when I'm communicating with people and I'm telling, like my video call with Vincent earlier. I was supposed to also get another video call from Melissa. Melissa's another good friend in Corpus Christi, but she's been going through medical issues, so maybe she couldn't make the call. But I always get calls like that, and to me, I look forward to them. I look forward to talking to people. Emilio, Iloilo has all the Western restaurants, nice schools, top hospitals. I forwarded Ginno a list of, oh yeah, man. I got the list of all the hospitals. Iloilo City, if medical is an issue, if you come into the Philippines, it is, to me, it's like the hub, the medical hub here in Western Visayas, and probably the entire Visayas. Iloilo City's got better hospitals than Cebu City. You know why I say that? In Cebu City, there's not even a single TRICARE preferred facility. In Iloilo City, they got two. And what that means, when it's a TRICARE preferred facility, that facility has been TRICARE, the U.S. military medical insurance, has decided that facility is within American standards. So basically, if I go to Medical City Iloilo, that's my hospital in Iloilo City, they bill TRICARE. They bill TRICARE for my care. I only have to pay my copay. So if I get admitted to the hospital, if I see any doctors there, I just pay my copay and I don't do any paperwork. The hospital itself, Medical City Iloilo, they filed the claim with TRICARE in the United States. To me, it's like the easiest thing, man. It's like if you've ever paid for medical care here in the Philippines and have to file for your insurance, like if you file 100% and then you have to get reimbursement for insurance in the U.S., it's a hassle. It's a hassle. It's a lot easier when the hospital just bills your insurance in the United States. And they also have Blue Cross Blue Shield for Medical City Iloilo, for people that has Blue Cross Blue Shield, they have that, So same situation. You don't have to pay 100% on your medical care. They bill Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm just fine with nothing to do while living. Right, Colonel? Like, I would trade doing nothing instead of what I hated the most when I was still working, Colonel, was sitting in a meeting, right? And the worst, I'm administration, I'm hospital administration. A lot of times I had to take the minutes on meetings. I had to like record what's being said. I have to type the minutes to the meeting. So, you schedule a meeting supposed to last an hour, ends up lasting 2 hours. People get into like conversations. You're trying to record everything. Man, 2 hours of your life in like a conference room with people like, not agreeing on things. It's just not fun, man. I'd rather, like you said, man, I'd rather just be like going to Navitas Beach. I'm like 10 minutes away on Bumblebee. I'll take, when I just need to like chill, man, I take Bumblebee, I go to Navitas Beach, and I just sit there and I listen to the waves. I watch people fishing. I could do that for hours, man. I could do that for hours. And I don't think it's a waste of my time when I do that, because for me, it relaxes me. It's like if I need to challenge my mind, I just read. It's like that's how I keep my mind sharp. Is I just read things. I like reading now. Iloilo values heritage, many parks and walkways. Man, Fortune, man, Iloilo City, man, I've always said it, keep saying it. The best city in the Philippines is Iloilo City, man. I don't even think any city comes close. I haven't been to Davao, so I don't want to like this biswax, because I haven't been there. But I've been to like many cities in the Philippines. Luzon, Visayas. I've traveled. I have not seen a better city than Iloilo City. The Colonel is in Iloilo. Yeah, many people that I've helped move to Panay Island. They're staying in Iloilo City. The people with kids, especially the ones that move to the Philippines with children, with school age children. Iloilo City is perfect for them, because they got like the best schools. The best schools in Visayas are in Iloilo City. And they are adding onto the Esplanade. Oh, they're adding! Wow, they're adding to the Esplanade. Good morning, Lucita from Fortune. Man, I love the Esplanade. So if they're adding more to the Esplanade, man, that's awesome, Colonel. True, Fortune. Tim, yeah, man, we're proud of him. I envy him, knowing what's coming his way. I know, brother, right? Like, to me, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, Tim, of course, but I'm happy for Justin too, man. It's exciting, man. If looking back, the best decision in my life was joining the military at 17 years old when I enlisted in the United States Air Force. It just opened my life to like just amazing things, amazing experiences, met the best people in my life, gone to places I would have never seen. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for him, Tim. That's gonna be awesome. And the Navy, man, right? He's join the Navy, man. That's awesome, man. Phil McLeod. Good morning, Ginno. Good morning, Phil. Vaughn, there is this fear of unknown, Ginno. What you are doing now with Edgar, JP, many more people, is that you are mitigating fear of taking that leap. Thank you, Vaughn. And I understand, I've mentioned it before in live streams on videos. It is a leap of faith, and I understand that. It's not an easy leap. It takes quite an adventure, especially if you're not Filipino American, if you're just straight up American, you're Canadian, British. It takes like an adventurous spirit to like leave what you're familiar with. Like, you got your friends, you got your family in the United States, you got all that, to leave all that to thousands of miles away, right? Go to a land when look, it's like everything's so different. Everything's so different here. But to me, that's part of the experience, man. That's part of the fun, But I understand, not all can handle that. Not all can handle that. One thing I've seen, Vaughn, the ones that handle it better are the ones that's been in the United States military. If they were a veteran, if they joined even 4 years, whatever, if they've done military service, because a lot of us that done military service, we lived in another country, we experienced other culture. Those guys, they make it easy when they come here to the Philippines, especially the ones that's been to Olongapo City when the naval base was here, or the ones that were here during the Clark Air Base days. Those guys just like, man, they're coming home. They feel like they're coming home when they get here. But to me, Bond, I think the main equation that makes it an easier move for people now, I think the main equation is retirement is just not affordable in the United States. I think most people are realizing that. I've talked to JP. He said, even with his pension, Social Security, with the law enforcement pension, it would still be tight. It would still be tight to stay in Washington State. Where we're here, man. If you're bringing in one pension, you're gonna do well already. But man, if you're bringing in two pension, I know people here that bring three pensions. I know people here that military pension, VA disability, Social Security. I know people getting like three pensions here in the Philippines. Man, if there's a word, it's like, not many people can live like a king, right? But you're gonna live pretty close. You're gonna live pretty close to a king if you're like coming here to the Philippines with three pensions here. J Boy, good morning, Kuya Ginno and everyone. Hey, J Boy, thank you always for joining the live stream, J Boy. I appreciate you, my friend. Martin Banks, America doesn't know how to slow down. Yeah, yeah. You know, the thing that I see, how the US now, that's why more and more people are retiring abroad or retiring here in the Philippines, retiring in Thailand. It's just not affordable anymore. It's like, especially if you lived in the United States, and you get the early retirement, right? You get to 62. And if you hadn't paid off your house, if you still have a mortgage at 62, and that happens, it's like US, like you might have gotten divorced, you might have something happen where you don't still own your house. It's going to be difficult for you to quit your job, to like end that big income and then just rely on Social Security and maybe one pension. If you only have two pension, it's still hard to live on that in the US. I know that. It's like that's why people are realizing that man, my money goes a long ways in other countries. Why not? Why not try another country? And the Philippines has always been so welcoming to Americans. It's this place has always been an ally to America. It's not like you're the enemy here. You're not the enemy when you come here to the Philippines. What's up with the pedicab bazooka incident? LOL. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit. That was just ongoing. In Mindanao, there's like this clan. They're like Ampatuan clan is one of them, and it's kind of like the Hatfields and the McCoy. These families had been fighting each other for decades, for like 100 years. It's like big families that are against each other. So they just take turns on like doing things like that to each other. It's not going to end. That's not going to end in that area. Iloilo City is divided into 7 districts. The city proper, Haro, the old rich mansions, Mandurriao, the modern development, La Paz, Molo, the suburbs, Lapus, Villa Arevalo, near the coast. It's just awesome place to live, man. That like Iloilo City's just got everything in it that you're looking for. If you're looking for closer to Western amenities, closer. More and more people are there. I don't have to sell. Man, I don't even have to talk about Iloilo City fortune. People are moving there, man. When I walk at the SM City Mall in Iloilo, I see nothing but foreigners walking at that mall, man. Norm, hey Norm. Good morning, Mister. Good AM, J Boy. For fortune. I always knew to retire in the Philippines because of you. I'll try out Iloilo. All right, Juan. All right. You'll be happy in Iloilo, man. Iloilo's awesome. And then when you move there, I got Phil friends in there that military retired already that's living there. I can introduce you. You'll have immediate friends, good people, good people that I'll introduce you to. J Boy. Good morning, and with kids, with school age kids, so not a problem. You're gonna meet. I'll introduce you, Vaughn. I'll introduce you to them. Good morning, Kuya Fortune from J Boy. I don't know the right girlfriend might give you a heart attack. I'm being careful. Hey, yeah, that's good. That's good, Colonel. That's good, man. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. So just pick up from any of the 7 districts. I lived in Haru and city proper as a kid. LOL, Colonel from Fortune. How did the girls get home from church? I saw them coming home. I take them to church and they just take a tricycle. Usually, like after the services, then there's a group of tricycles that wait right outside the church, and they take them home. They take the tricycle drops them over. The subdivision, the guard will let the tricycle in if it's just a drop off, but the tricycles just can't like stay around the community here. They'll have to leave. LOL, Colonel J Boy. We'll catch up later, bro. All right, Tim. All right, hey, we'll do a call, man. We'll do a video call, Tim. We'll catch up on things. Vaughn, you have kids, so Iloilo is great for you. Yeah, and like I said, Vaughn, I can introduce you with people that moved to Iloilo, retired there with kids. So you have commonality with them, and they're good people. My friends, they're good people. You like them. Ateneo de Iloilo is my top recommendation. That's where they go to school. They send their kids to Ateneo de Iloilo. But they also have other school run by sister, like Assumption. Yep. My friend from Vermont, their daughter is going to Assumption. Martin, Dazzle, what churches are you all going to? What is nearby you in Calibo? We don't go to Calibo. We go here in Numancia. Mom and Liana, they go to the Iglesia. It's called the Church of Christ, Iglesia ni Cristo. Dazzle and I, we go to the Catholic Mass. I'm Catholic, so that's what I attend. Pinay Heart. Yep, coming from San Diego is a big transition. There's so many choices and options here, but the cost of living is outrageous. Yeah, man, I've been to San Diego area. It's beautiful, man. San Diego is just beautiful. The beach, oceanside, everything's so nice, so modern. The weather, right? San Diego's got like perfect weather pretty much the whole year. But the cost is what's like, and I'm finding out. That's why I'm so busy, man. I'm like, new people are contacting me. Yesterday I did a video call with Michael is his name, and his wife. They're in what places? I can't even remember where they're from, but they did a video call. He was asking me about TRICARE in Iloilo City, and he was asking me how moving money. And I told him, man, you're kind of behind. You need to do some research. He was asking me things like, how do I transfer money in the U.S. to the Philippines? So I usually can tell when somebody needs a lot of help. Haven't done enough. They haven't done enough research on their own. So I told him, man, I told him, you need to like do a little bit more research, because I can't do everything for people, man. I don't have the time, You also have to do part of it. Part of like, if you're moving to the Philippines, you also have to do part of the research. But I can answer some things, but you also have to put the effort, right? You can't like just rely on Ginno, man. You can't just rely on Ginno on everything, man. 2 to 3K, I manage farms, do as I wish. Build future for my circle when I'm gone. It's peace of mind for me knowing good life will continue. Yeah, Belis, That's why me, man, we're kind of kindred spirits in that way, Belus, because I feel the same way. The reason I'm frugal, the reason I budget, the reason we live in a small house is I want this life to continue for Dazzle, for Mom, for Leanne. I want this life to continue for them. Man, I can splurge. I can just like live the life, buy myself a brand new Ford Ranger. I can do all kinds of things, but I'm not selfish that way anymore. To me, I'm making sure that when I'm gone, they're going to be okay. They're going to have a good life. Their life will remain the same or even better when I'm gone. And if your kids are for academic pursuits, the Philippine Science High School has a campus in Haro. That's a ticket. I know, right? That's a ticket to University of the Philippines. And if you need help, anything to do with like getting your kids to University of the Philippines, Fortune's the man. He knows the ins and outs of like how to get your kid into like University of the Philippines. University of the Philippines here in the Philippines, that's our Harvard. If you go to University of the Philippines, you can't go to more prestigious school. That's a big deal to Filipinos. If your kid gets accepted, not sent, accepted by University of the Philippines, your kid just made it to Harvard. Belus, you're blessed. You're blessed. Belus from Juan. 26 in-house. Smash the like, please. Oh, thank you, Belus. Vaughn. Fortune, do you know if foreign-born kids can go to Philippine Science High School? That's public school, right? My mom went to another school by sisters, Colegio de Jesus, but I'm not familiar now with their quality. Hopefully, it's still okay. My mom time in the 50s. Bill Vaughn, very much so, and trust me, I know it, and give thanks as much as I can. Okay, Vaughn, I might be able to answer a little bit of your question. You said foreign-born kids can go to Philippine Science, but if your kids are born in the U.S., they can still get dual citizenship, man, because you're the parent. You're Filipino, man, because my friends, Joel, Eileen, Chris, they were all born in San Diego, in California. They're now Philippine citizens because one parent was a Filipino citizen. So it's not just, there's a way to make your kids Filipino citizens, even if they're born in the United States. Pinay, public school system in U.S. is different in public. Oh, definitely, Pinay. Now I see it because I attended 4 years of public school in the United States, and I see it with Leanna attending public school here in Numancia. Yes, Vaughn, your kids are Pinoys. That's the best high school in the country. It's not run by DepEd, DOC. It's by Department of Science and Technology. Pinay, public system in USA, the school is obligated to provide services to the student. They get a lot of funding. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Hardly any funding in public schools here in the Philippines, unfortunately. You can tell by the classrooms, man. The classrooms here are like, a lot of them are dilapidated, made of wood, no AC, fans broken. I always have to donate every year. Leanna steps up, like next year, second year. I always have to donate like electric fans, water coolers, all kinds of things to the school because they just don't have the budget. They don't have the budget for public school here. If your kids get into PSI, that's free tuition for 6 years. If they pass UP, usually the case, free tuition for 5 years. Oh, awesome, man. Brian McCastin, good morning, buddy. All right. I hope your day It's starting off great. I mean, it's Sunday, a little cooler than usual. Let me turn on the fan here now, actually, because it's starting to warm up. Earlier, it was like 73 degrees. It was raining. Now it's kind of humid. It's getting humid in here, man. I had to turn the fan on. I was thinking I had to opt out of Medicare Part B, but got my application this year. I guess you have to sign up for it. I'm turning 65 this year. Yeah, Ted, for me, I know when I turn 65, a few years still, but when I turn 65, I have to sign up for Medicare Part B in order for me to use TRICARE here in the Philippines because my primary insurance will still be Medicare, but because there's no Medicare in the Philippines, TRICARE will cover me here. So TRICARE pretty much for Dazzle and I, we'll have TRICARE coverage the rest of my life here. They have TRICARE for life here in the Philippines. So I'm never going to have a problem with medical insurance in the Philippines because of my TRICARE, because of my 20 years of active duty military service. Pinay, tutor there is really in a, yes, Pinay, my neighbor here, man, he just graduated engineering. Their daughter is a nurse, graduated nursing in Calibo. The son just graduated engineering. And when he was going to college, he was tutoring the kids here in our neighborhood. If I tutor Leanna, so but he was tutoring them because he's a college kid, advanced science, advanced math. So if kids here in the neighborhood, man, he was charging them like I think 300, 400 pesos per session, and that's like $8, $8 per session to tutor your kid. Ted 65, Ginno 60, milestone. I know, right? Milestone year. I mean, fortune can tell you, man. 60 is a milestone birthday here in the Philippines. When people turn 60 here, they have massive birthdays. It's almost kind of like a debut, like an 18th birthday for a debut for a female. Here, when you turn 60, I mean, I've attended 60th birthday here where there's like 50 to like 60 people attending the party. It's a big event here because unfortunately, it's like people don't last long in the Philippines. Maybe because it's a diet, maybe because I don't know. Maybe the medical healthcare, the situations, but a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't last till 60 here. I don't know like the age, life expectancy for a Filipino living in the Philippines. But man, people here in the Philippines, when they turn 60, they're just happy. They're happy. You get your senior card. You're a senior, officially a senior citizen. You get 20% on everything once you turn 60 here. It's a big event for Filipinos. Yep, Fortune. The Colonel, I know I earned it. Retirement. Yeah, right, Colonel? We earned it, man. Retirement wasn't given to us. It's like whatever pension, whatever benefit, Social Security, whatever we get from America, man, we earned that thing, man. My mom will be 80 in August. We are planning a party for 80 of her closest family and friends. My father will be 85 next year, so got to plan again. I will be 55 next year also. All right, Fortune. Man, you're gonna be planning some major birthday parties there, man. 80 and 85. Those are big events. I can't wait to move back. There. I'd rather pay the people there that works directly to my kid than keep paying so much taxes here, but don't really get exactly what we pay for. Yeah, at least here you get to choose. It's like there's, if tutoring is what you need, it's easy to find here. People are eager, especially college students here. They're eager. You're always gonna find the smartest kid, right? Like the magna cum laude or whatever. Find the smartest kid in the colleges here and ask them to tutor your kid, man. That's not hard to do here. Not hard to do. Bill, prices are much higher today than back in 2011. Many places have doubled. Many places have doubled. Yeah, many places have doubled, but for me, there's still place. You just got to do your research, Phil. You know, it's like I'll give you an example. One of the apartments that I lived in Calibo, actually, it was owned by an American friend of mine, but he sold it now. Different owner now. I rented a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, unfurnished apartment in Calibo. When I went to school at STI College Calibo, my rent for that 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, solid building, cement building. I had to put the AC. I had to buy my own refrigerator, but my rent was 7,000 pesos in 2012. Right, 7,000 pesos. That same apartment, if I rented it today, 2026, is 8,000 pesos. It increased by 1,000 pesos. $18 increase from 2012 to 2026. So, yes, I have to agree with you. There's places that have doubled in price here in the Philippines, but there's also places that hasn't. You know, Aklan province, I can tell you this, the cost of living, I've been living here for 15 years. It hasn't doubled in the 15 years I've been here. It's people can't afford it here. You know, this is rural. This is a provincial. You cannot raise the prices here too much. People complain about, you know, when they raise the price of onions here or tomatoes, you know, people, ooh, that's expensive, you know. But, you know, for us, you know, we're blessed enough that we have pensions from America that it benefits us, that it remains affordable here. There's places in the Philippines that are affordable. A lot of things that you see places that have risen in prices. Probably you're thinking of BGC in Manila. Yeah, of course, because all the Americans all the expats are going there. Of course, they can raise prices on you there. But when you go to areas like in the provinces, when there's not that many expats, you know, they're not gonna be able to raise the prices because nobody can afford it. Just my opinion, not my opinion. Just my opinion, Phil. Fortune, where do you plan, PH Pinay Heart? Brian, yes, we all earned it, brother. 33 years you sat for me. I am due some easy life now, just like you. I know, right? To me, that's why for me, I do not have a problem, man, just having an easy life. I do not have a problem with that because, like, I know I paid my dues, man. I know it hasn't been an easy life going through life. So now I just get to relax. I just get to enjoy. I just can go to Boracay anytime I want. I can just like go like at lunch, like if Dazzle is, hey, babe, let's go to lunch in Calibo. Let's have a date day at Calibo. We can do that anytime. You know, it's like I'm not. I don't have to chase anything anymore. You know, it's like I'm perfectly content with what I did with my life. Perfectly content with what I accomplished in my life. I don't have that thing anymore where a bucket list or I got to do this to complete my life. To me, man, if I wake up every day and I'm alive, I'm just thankful. That's all. You know, it's like I just want to live out my days. I want to wake up every day happy. I want to spend as much time as I can with Dazzle, Leon, and Mom, and just enjoy our life together. Yes, you guys earned it. Time for the reward. Yeah, right, Fortune? A lot of times, you know, people sometimes, I think some people are just hard on themselves. They don't want to I think because it's a habit too, you know, you're like, you work so for so many years, and you're always thinking, I gotta leave this money to this person, I gotta leave this money to this person. But the bottom line, man, you still gotta whatever time we got left, most of us, we're at the fourth quarter of our life, right? Most of us, man, there's still life left. There's still fun left, man. Just like enjoy what's left. It's like, don't get into the drama. Don't get involved with like the politics. Don't get involved in any of that. Remove that from your life. Just enjoy what you got left. It's like, and I could think of many ways if you come here to Aklan province, many ways you can enjoy life here. Like I said, go to Boracay. Have a picnic at the beach. Go to Pandan Antique. Go water tubing. Climb. If you're still fit enough. There's many mountains here where you can hike up mountains here. You can go camping. There's so many things that you could be doing. That instead of like what I remember, like sitting in a meeting for 2 hours, recording the meeting, have to publish the meeting minutes, send it to the people, and they're like, oh, I didn't say that, that's wrong, change this, change that. Just headache, just headache. Why go through that if you can afford, like I said, if you can afford to retire early, man, there's no reason why you should keep working. If anything, you're just shortening your life by working. The longer you work, the longer it's shortening your life. I honestly believe that, because the stress, the things that you have to deal with when you're working, it's like reducing your lifespan the longer you keep working. Pinay, we want to see where it's easier to get people. I need help. First, maybe stay in Imus. When we go there, my husband wants to rent a condo somewhere in Taguig or Makati. Man, you got fortune. Man, Pinay Heart, you got fortune, man. He's in Cavite. He's in the area, man. Fortune can help you. I'm sure he'll more than willing to help you, man. Fortune's a nice guy, man. As much as one must have a diversity of investment, one must have a diversity of income. Yeah, I wish I had more diversity of income. I have my military pension. That's pretty much it. And now YouTube, which I don't get much money in YouTube, but it's enough, man. For me, I think man, it's not about all the money you can make. It's whatever money you make, and you make do with what you got. It's like as long as you're living within your means and not over your means, you're good to go, man. Like I said, I've talked to many people, man. It's like when I help people, the first thing I ask, I get personal because, if they really want me to help them, I ask them, it's like, how much money do you bring in every month? And I tell them straight out, oh, you got enough. You got enough, because like, you just got to change some ways. You can't be living that American lifestyle where you make $2,000 a month in America and you spend $4,000 on credit. Everything's on credit. You have a sports car on credit. You got like a TV on credit. You got like all your gadgets or your iPhones on credit. You just can't do that. You just got to live within your means. Whatever income it's not how much you bring to the Philippines. It's not how much money you make every month. It's how much you spend. You can bring $4,000 here a month, or that VA 100% disability. You can bring $4,000 here every month. But if you're spending $5,000, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You got to live below your means. As long as you're living below your means, And I know, Vaughn, people always tell me, investment this, investment. Man, I've been conservative, especially now. I'm almost 60. I'm conservative with my investments. I'm not going to take chance on stocks. I'm not going to take chance on crypto. Just because I'm old, man. I can't afford the stress of like looking at the ticker symbol or looking at how much my crypto is now. I don't want to go through that, man. I want to enjoy my retirement. I don't think about finances since I've retired here. I know how much money in my head. We got money saved up, but I'm not looking at ticker symbols anymore. To me, that's just added stress. When you're retired, man, you want to be retired. You don't want to be like looking at how much Apple is now, how much is Tesla now, or which stock I got to buy now. Man, when you're retired, you just want to like relax, you've done enough, you've done enough to where you got money coming in. Just enjoy your life, all that stuff's just gonna stress you. Pinay Heart, Kuya Fortune, which school do you recommend for special education? Ted, Bohol. I remember when I was a kid in the US, 55 years old was the retirement age considered as. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Man, 55. Maybe that's why Drive 55. That's something 55, man. Man, I wish that was still the senior citizen is 55, Ted. Imus is fast rising. There are Ayala developments in Imus. You know Ayala, they develop well. Provincial better than Taguig or Makati. Check out Vermosa. I have to agree. I have to agree with Fortune, Pinay. I know people are attracted to BGC, Taguig, Makati. But man, I would agree with Fortune. I would move more provincial than Taguig or like that be, that concrete jungle, man. That could be hard. That can be hard. And more expensive for sure. It's gonna cost you more money living in Taguig and Makati. There's enough like close by. You're still close to Taguig. You're still close to Makati. You're within an hour. There's places in Cavite, Laguna, Tagaytay, To me, those are better options, I think. Check out Ibo City. Ibo City. Ibo City. Okay, I will research that. It is easier to hire in-home tutor. I'm thinking homeschooling him maybe for a while. Yeah, people are doing that here now, Pinay Heart. Everybody's homeschooling is becoming bigger here in the Philippines. I know that was when I was in the 70s. I never heard of homeschooling, but now it's more common. More and more people are homeschooling their kids here. We have a house in Imus. We will need to renovate the house. We will need to rent a house first to settle there. It's 80 square meter only. Man, my house is only 40 square meter, man. 80 square meter. That's double my house, man. I know, Pinay. I know Americans. Everything in America is like big. Everything like big houses and all that. But here in the Philippines, like everything's small here. Everything's small here. Vermosa has landers, a track oval, football field, swimming pool. Wow, nice. And sounds like a nice place, Fortune Vermosa. Yes, you can, because there's a De La Salle. Sobel, so I'm sure some kids have tutors. Oh yeah. Tutors are popular here, and then there's agencies, right? Kumon is one. Tutors are not hard to find. If you want, like, if your kid needs more educational, more academic, it's available here. Pinay. That's even better. Renz. Hey, Renz. Good day to all. Good day to all, Renz. My nephew is grade 11 in De La Salle Sobel Vermosa campus. His younger brother is grade 6 in their Alabang campus. Kuya Fortune, I remember that your wife is a doctor. Yeah, Fortune's a Chi is she's an ER doctor. He's an emergency room doctor. Yes. Asian hospital too, man. That's like top of the line. The best hospital in Alabang area. ER consultant. That's her specialty, emergency medicine. Do you know a doctor that knows how to treat people ADHD medication, prescription? I will ask and revert. Yep. Okay, thank you. We'll reply. Yep. If you pick Imus, Asian Hospital is near, and also De La Salle Medical Center in Dasma is also near. The ER there is run by her colleagues also. The research, the FDA approved medication, but now I need to find out this doctor that prescribe these meds. The Philippine FDA headquarters beside Asian Hospital. I told the DepEd here to switch him med approved in the Philippines, but she suggested not too soon yet. Here in the USA, the neurologist can also I don't know in the Philippines. Biswax, my close relatives actually discouraged me from retiring in the Philippines. So did mine, man. So did mine. It was like when I was 45, Biswax, and I told everyone that I'm leaving the U.S. to come to the Philippines. They thought I was nuts. They thought I was blowing my opportunity in America. That my mom moved me to America to give me all the chances in America. That because you know how Filipino think. When Filipinos go to the United States, they base your success in the amount of money you accumulate. That's just how it is. I think that's pretty common with different nationalities also. They equate your success about how much money you accumulate, what mansion, what cars you accumulate. That was just never me, man. It's like material things never really made me happy. Even when I had a good job at St. Mary's, I had a sports car, I had a house, I had garage stuff. It wasn't making me happy. If anything, it was stressing me because something's gonna break. I gotta replace it. Or you gotta buy this new thing, your new gadget, or your gadget doesn't work. It needs this adapt. To me, it was like all the material things. Looking back now, I'm much more happier with less now than when I was living in Arizona and I had so much. I'm a lot happier now because I don't worry about things. Nothing in the house here will ever break. I don't have to worry about replacing anything. Maybe the microwave, maybe the toaster oven, maybe the rice cooker I got to replace, but like 30, $40. It's not an issue. It's not an issue with me. I just found an easier life here. And a lot of it too, man, is the Filipinos, like, there's a big difference between Filipinos living here in the Philippines and Filipinos living in America. When Filipinos, like me, when I was young, when we moved to the Philippines, my relatives, it almost became like a competition. It almost became like, who's going to be the most successful out of all of us? And again, all the success was always based on how much money you accumulate. The difference is like here in the Philippines, you don't have that pressure. You don't have that pressure here. People here in the Philippines, there's a word here for people, it's sometimes it's taken as a negative, like tambay. Right, tambay, a person that doesn't do much, right, or maybe just does enough to get by, right? Like it might be the kid that's attending college, just getting like so grades and just getting by. But here, there's not that big pressure where you got to be successful. You got to be successful. You got to it's okay to be just okay, right? It's okay to graduate college here and just have a job and you'll do that job to 10, 20 years. There's not that ongoing pressure to everything. It's not enough. I felt that when I was living in America, man. When I was living in America, man, I already had a military pension. I had a high paying job at St. Mary's Hospital, but I was still getting pressure, almost a pressure, like I got to compete with my relatives in the U.S. My mom, my aunties, they're always like, oh, you're like, how come you don't, your cousin here, he's like, he got promoted, he's got doing this. Here in the Philippines, you just don't get that. I don't get that here. It's like, for one, I'm the only one here. Most of my relatives in the U.S., they're in the U.S. still working, man. Me, I'm just like chilling here, just enjoying my life here. I took the leap of faith, and now I'm actually right. That's why me and my brother Biswax were in Davao. We can relate. Me and him did a video call one time, and I can relate. When me and him are talking, we can totally relate to each other. Would you recommend or buying? Or renting, never buy here, man. If I have one recommendation for you, man, especially if you're American, you can't own things here anyway. If you're single American, don't buy anything here in the Philippines. It'll just go to your girlfriend or go to your wife. Just rent. Rent is so cheap here in the Philippines. There's no reason for. I know Americans, they're obsessed about owning land, building a house and all that. But that's just headache here. It's so much cheaper to like just rent here in the Philippines. No headache. Just rent, pay your rent, low rent. Every month you're done. You know what I'm saying? Right, Biz? Fear of the unknown for others, like Ginno also. But if you did good research and adapted, you can make it happen. Yeah, you know, it's all about what you're willing to sacrifice, and we're all different. You know, I understand that. You know, not everybody's like me. Not everybody's like Bizwax. You know, it's like. You know, many Filipino Americans, many of them stay in the United States, and I understand. You know, they got Americanized. They like that lifestyle in the U.S. and I'm not mad at them. You know, it's all good, man. Good morning, Mister from Ray in the Philippines. Fortune, Jay, rent first and see if the place is what you like. Get a furnished place so you don't buy appliances. Now, once you are fully decided, then that's the time to buy. Good AM, Ray. Bismack, fear of the unknown can hold you back. And, you know, I know a lot of people get held back. You know, I know a lot of people get on the. I've communicated with people sometimes. I've been communicating for them for like 2-3 years, and they're still in the U.S. They've never made it here. All this time, they're like wanting. A lot of people get stuck on that planning stage, unfortunately. And then, you know, to me, that's not a good place to be at. Just because, why not just take a jump? You know, take that leap of faith. Even just a visit. You know, even like. Come here for a few months. You don't have to like sell everything in the U.S. and come here and take that big a chance. Just try it. Come here for 30 days. See for yourself. Don't be quarterbacking everything from your couch in the U.S. You know, that's not going to help you. All you're going to be doing is like, oh man, I wish I did it. I wish I did it. You know, don't be like that. Just, you know, sometimes the best things in life, you just gotta go for it. They discouraged you maybe because they left back those years there were no progress. I mostly hear that to those people who have not visited the Philippines for the past 10 years. Yeah, could be Pinay Heart. You know, because I mean, it's we're all different, you know. So it's finding the sweet spot for everyone. You know, it's like no two people are alike. So not everyone's gonna like the Philippines. I know that. You know, it's like I know people that come here, you know, and don't like it just because a lot of times they didn't do enough research. And a lot of times they go to BGC, they see Manila, and they go, oh, I don't like the Philippines. Good morning, Fortune from Ray, Biswag. I do miss people back in the US, but I met new friends here in Davao, expats in Pinoy. Yeah. I do, looking back now 15 years, you know, of course, there's people that I miss, you know, that I left in the US, but a lot of the ones that I really miss, a lot of them came here, you know, and that's the other thing. I found out who my real friends are because my real friends, they want to come see me. They're like, Ginno, I got to visit you there in the because for somebody that's working in the United States, somebody that's got good income in the United States, it's not hard for them to vacation in the Philippines. Not with these plane tickets now, you know, I'm hearing, you know, $1,200 for a round trip ticket now. You know, it's like, that's nothing to somebody that's still working in the US. So if they're really your friend and they want to see you, they'll come see you, you know. So to me, the ones that never visit me, the ones that, you know, I'm not going to miss them as much. You know, it's like, you know, I miss the friends that want to come see me, the ones that's already seen me here, the ones that already visited me, the ones that were my friends. Well, maybe we weren't that close of friends anyway, you know, if they don't want to come see me here. My mom's niece do not want to come back to the Philippines. My mom's niece, all right, she left since the 1970s. She have no idea how Philippines is way better compared to her living condition right now in Las Vegas. I see that, Pinay Heart. Not a lot of my Phil-Am friends, a lot of my Filipino American friends, it's usually the guys that want to come back to the Philippines and retire here. The Filipinas, the wives, are usually the ones that don't. And a lot of that is because it happens with my relatives too. My relatives in California, my relatives in Texas. A lot of it is because they become Americanized. They cannot see themselves after living in the U.S., driving their own car, shopping by themselves, being independent. All of a sudden, moving back to the Philippines, and it's not easy to move around here, depending where you are. Like especially if you go to BGC, you're limited to like the area where you can go. It's like even here in the province, if you live here in Panay Island's tiny. It's like there's only 4 provinces where you got all that space in America. You can travel. It's easy to fly, easy to do things in America. You can be a lot more independent. For somebody like a Filipina coming back here, like in their position, a lot of times a lot of it is like, ooh, it's dirty in the Philippines. It smells in the Philippines. It's polluted in the Philippines. That's what I hear. That's why they don't want to come here. They don't want to return back to the Philippines because they're no longer, in my eyes, they're no longer Filipinos, man. They're more American. Jay, right on. Good idea, Fortune. Jay, so if you don't like it, you can easily move another city and try. Yeah, it's like, to me, the minute you buy land, the minute you build the house, you're stuck at that place. So if you haven't been here in the Philippines for many years, it's hard to move. It's not easy to sell anything here, especially if the land you bought is expensive. If you build a nice house, you spend more money, not going to be easy to sell that home. So, before you do it, you want to make sure that's the place for you. That you want to make sure that it's not the same dynamic in the U.S. where people move all the time, state to state. You can go. I'm moving out of California. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to Florida. You can do that in the U.S. It's easy to sell. It's almost impossible to sell anything here in the Philippines, especially when expats build like a land, they buy a big piece of land, they build a humongous house, beachfront. Man, not many Filipinos can afford that house when you sell it, man. It's like Biz, invite them over to visit and you can tour them. Davao, Samal, Bukidnon. All right. Fortune, I did invite them. I know. Biz invited me to go. I can't convince Dazzle. You can probably convince me to try Mindanao, visit Mindanao. But Dazzle, man, she's typical Filipino, man. She got that stigma about Mindanao. Brian, hey, good morning, Brian, my good friend in Galveston County, Texas. LOL, Biz. Hopefully they do someday. If you believe things will work out, there is no fear. Yeah, I like that statement, Captain Ron. For me, I knew it was going to work out because for me, when I bought my ticket in 2011, it was a one-way ticket, man. I gave up my life in the U.S. I sold everything I had, got rid of everything I was down to a backpack and a suitcase. I was down to that, and I was going to make it work. There was nothing that was going to make me want to go back to the U.S. I knew I had my U.S. military pension. I knew that was going to be more than enough for me in the Philippines. So I was going to adjust to whatever I had to adjust in the Philippines. If I had to adjust to mosquitoes, if I had to adjust to cockroaches, the bureaucracy here, the long waiting times, the traffic, whatever I had to adjust, I knew I was going to adjust because the choice for me was going back in the U.S. and working again. And to me, that was like not going to be that was not going to happen to me. I was going to make sure I was going to be successful here in the Philippines. Biz, I wish Samal local government build good infrastructures. Samal can rival Boracay. The Davao to Samal Bridge is a good start. Yeah, I've heard about Samal Island. I've actually seen videos. Yes, Biz, Samal has potential. The bridge and bigger land area than Boracay. More can be done. More can be done. I went to public school and I had classmates. I had back in elementary, they were born in America. Yeah, you're seeing that more and more now. Even in Leanna school, man, Numancia, right? Think about it. We're like out here in the province of Numancia. In Leanna school, I see some white kids attending school there. You know, so I'm sure they're one of the parent is white, and they're attending public school here in the Philippines, and that's common now, man. It's not even uncommon here in the Philippines now. Many expats have moved, not just Americans, Canadians, British, and they've moved their family or started a family here in the Philippines, have kids here with their Filipinas, and they send their kids to public school. You know, you don't have to send your kids to private school here. If you're a good tutor yourself, if you're educated yourself, you can just tutor your kid. You know, that's what I did with Leanna. You know, it's like I have the time, you know, I have the time to do it. What else am I going to do the rest of the day? You know, it's like, and I love teaching Leanna. I love helping her with her school. It makes sense, private school. Every time a new student from the U.S. transfer to our school, we're impressed by how they speak English. And they instantly become, I know, right? Like I was saying, my friend Olson, right? Aliyah and Isaiah. Isaiah's 10, and Isaiah's white. You know, it's like Olson's his dad, but Isaiah looks like a white kid. I told Olson, man, when Isaiah comes to the Philippines and goes to school here, he'll be a celebrity. He'll be a celebrity at his school here. He looks like a movie actor, man. 60 is the senior citizen to get 20% discount and 12% VAT exemption. 65 is retirement for government workers. All right, all right. And that's a nice thing about the senior card. It's not just 20% discount. You get that 12% VAT. That 12% VAT is kind of like I would compare it to like state tax. Like the state tax is like the Philippine tax for the entire Philippines is the VAT. So you're saving 32% on some items here when you use your card. But you got to be Filipino. You got to be Filipino to be eligible for the senior card. It's a great help for a cheap person like me. All right, a great help for me, man, because I have a PWD card now, so I get the same discount as a senior. And now I'll turn 60, so I can get a senior card now on my birthday. Don't forget when you eat out, tipping isn't common. Yeah, tipping is not common here. And no waitress will get mad if you don't leave a big tip. I've seen news here where servers actually got really upset. Yeah, one thing I did notice, Pinoy Heart, and I always watch it now when we eat at restaurants, especially in Boracay, they add a service charge now. You know, some restaurants, not all, but some restaurants would add a service charge to your bill. And when I see that, I don't tip at all. I don't tip at all. But I do tips, you know, I'm not the 15-20% in the US, depending on the service of the server. Because here, even if you spend like, let's say, 1,000 pesos on a meal, if you give a tip of 50 pesos, you'll see the big smile. Because people do not expect a tip here. Waitresses here don't expect. So any tip they get here, they're happy to get it. Tip not required here. Most restaurants have the service charge already. Yeah, I've been noticing that, Fortune. A lot of times when I see that service charge, I try to like not go to that restaurant again. They're taken off my list because I do not like it where they charge me service, you know. If no service charge, tip is still optional. Me, if I'm happy with the service because I know genuine Pinoy service, I give it. Same way with me. But me, Fortune, when I see a service charge on my receipt, I probably won't go back to that restaurant again because I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they decided to charge me for their service. You know, it's like a service charge. You know, I'm supposed to get served, right? You know, it's like At least give me the option. At least put service charge blank and make me put like how much service charge to pay. Don't automatically charge me a service charge. Because I know a lot of those restaurants not guaranteed that the service charge will go to the waitress. A lot of those restaurants, to me, I know they're just greedy. It's just part of their to get more money out of you. I just know. I just know how that works with service charge here. If it was going straight to the waitresses and waiter, I might not mind that they charge me service charge. But I know it's not 100% that service charge goes to your server. Bizwax. I tipped here if there is no service charge. In the US, tipping culture is getting out of hand. Yeah, like same way with me, Biz. If I see a service charge, I'm not tipping, because, but if I see no service charge, depending on the service, then I would tip. And it doesn't have to be a big tip here. But like I said, they appreciate any tip that you give them here because it's extra money to the waiters here. My Filipina is from Pandan. All right. Yeah, you mentioned that, Young Fresh. Now I remember you. Would you say oh yeah, man, Pandan Antique. I have friends there. That are foreigners that live there. And what's nice about Pandan Antique, Young Fresh, it's not just Americans. It's like a variety of foreigners live there. Germans, people from Spain, people from my friend from Alaska. My friend, he owns a resort there, LNL Resort. He owns a resort. They own businesses in Pandan. You love Pandan, man. Pandan's a good place for you if you're looking for it's a good community for foreigners because Pandan Antique is very rural. Not much in the town, there's not much in there, like sari-sari stores. I don't even see a grocery store there. But I like it because I like the rural vibe. Most of the people in Pandan Antique, if they're not farmers, they're fishermen. If you like that like a setting, that rural, provincial setting, man, Pandan is awesome, man. I love going there. We just went there to a resort in Pandan. And we'll probably celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary in April. We'll go to that resort again in Pandan. I love it there, man. I love Pandan Antique. Merlin, have you been to Katiklan, Boracay? My wife and daughter went there today. Oh, you're home. All right. Oh, yeah, man. Like, if you look on my videos, man, I got over 100 videos of Boracay. We're always I was just last week in Boracay. I filmed like a morning walk. I filmed the afternoon walk, and I filmed a sunset walk, So I'll be in Boracay in a couple of weeks here. It's like during the summer months, I spend more time in Boracay than the rainy season. So February, March, April, May, we'll spend more time in Boracay. I'm only like an hour and a half to go to Boracay. If I leave my house now, it takes me an hour 15 minutes to get to Katiklan, and takes me 15 minutes on the ferry. So an hour and a half, I could be at White Beach, Boracay. So, and it's so cool that I get to do that. It's so cool that I've seen arguments in the US when the tip received wasn't enough. Yeah, me too, man. I remember one guy delivering pizza. He had several boxes of pizza, and he got a $5 tip. And he was mad because he had to walk through the snow and everything. He was like, Young, Pandan Antique. Yes, Pandan Antique. That's where Young Fresh's girlfriend's at. Right, Bizwax, you actually have to worry here about whether you have enough money to tip your server when you eat out. I've started tipping too in the Philippines the last time I visited there. Yeah, it's not required. Tipping is not required here. They're not going to get upset, People don't get upset here. The one thing about Filipino servers, waitresses, they're so, they're not like aggressive. You're not going to see an aggressive waiter or waitress. They'll get fired here. If you complain to the manager, they'll get fired here. So they're not going to be aggressive just because of a tip. Yes, Pandan Antique. in Japan, we tried to leave a tip. They actually, yeah, you're not allowed to tip. It's an insult. I lived in Japan for 4 years, Pinay Heart. It's an insult to them. Service is supposed to be good service. If you leave money, it's almost an insult to them that they didn't provide good service. Yeah, offensive. Yeah, it is offensive in Japan to leave a tip. Fortune, Ginno knows we treated some balikbayan relatives from US and Australia last Wednesday. We ate a nice Korean. Yeah, it's awesome place, man. We paid and already tipped, but I saw our guests tip more. Yeah, they're in a habit, Fortune. That's how it is, Americans, unfortunately, we're so trained on tipping because we don't want to offend anybody. So I know, but the waitresses, of course, they're like ecstatic, right? They're so happy that they got more money. It was 500 peso, and for US base, just $10. But the joy they receiving is priceless. I know, man. Young, my lolo on mother's side is from Pandan originally. Very good place. It's near Ginno's. Yeah. I can be in Pandan in 1 hour. Numancia and Pandan is like less than an hour drive for me. I love it there, man. Pandan Antique is awesome. They have a Malumpati health springs there. They got the tube, the inner tube, like going down the river on the inner tube. Man, that's awesome. I can't wait to do it again. We do it every year. We go to Malumpati and do tubing. It's so much fun. The inner tubes are so much fun. I took James and Karen the last time we did the inner tube. James and Karen from James and Karen Adventure. We went on the tube. They had a blast, man. James thought that was like the coolest thing. Kuya Kurt blog. He lives. Oh yeah. Well, Kuya Kurt's big time, man. He got that kind of money. Man. I'm not in the same pay grade as Kuya Kurt, man. I can't afford a 2,000 peso tip, man. I don't even eat 2,000 at the Carinderia, man. I'll watch him also. Kuya Kurt was a Mormon missionary in Locust for 2 years, early 2000. I went back. Yeah, I've seen his videos. When it goes to my feeds, I'll watch different people's videos. He knows Tagalog. Good AM, PBT, Peanut Butter Travels. Right, Kuya? Very funny. Hey there, big time. Hey, hello, Ginno. I was wondering, is there houses for rent at Camellia? If so, what's the average rent there? Thanks, Ginno. Oh, yeah, plenty of rentals here. The rentals at Camellia, people rent them. There's owners. It's not from the Camellia subdivision. All the houses here at Camellia, it's privately owned now. So a lot of the houses, some of the houses anyway, they turned it into Airbnb. That's more common. There's more Airbnb. But if you're looking to rent, like my house here, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, you can rent same house like mine, probably not furnished. And you can rent it below 10,000 pesos or right at 10,000 pesos. $180 is the rent. But you would have to furnish it. Man, there's units that are furnished that are like nice, they set it up nice furnished. They'll charge you more than 10,000. It just depends on the owner. There's always signs. For rent in our community here. We need a second floor house in Imus. We use our garage as a second bedroom. Our kitchen in the Philippines is so tiny. We definitely need a maid's room for sure. Okay. Yeah, once you get here, Pinay, I would just find a temporary place, maybe an Airbnb, maybe something temporary. And then once you get in the area, that's when you start looking. It's really hard to look like online or try to find anything online in the Philippines. It's like, it's almost impossible. You really have to be boots on the ground. Like, I know my friend Michael, He lives in Trece Martires. He lives in a nice place, man. Brand new apartment complex. It's kind of like a townhouse, 2 floors. Man, his place is really nice, and I know he didn't pay a lot of money getting rent there. You know, it's like I'm pretty sure it's right around 10,000 pesos a month, and it's like a townhome, really nice, new building he lives in. You can find them. You can find them here once you get here. Boots on the ground will always be trying to figure out, like, trying to rent from when you're in the U.S. Once you get to the Philippines, just rent an Airbnb for like 1 or 2 weeks and then start looking. That should give you enough time to find an apartment here. Because I would never know what you're looking for. It's hard, like, if like, is there an apartment, I can film it, but until you're here, until you're seeing the neighborhood, until you're like around the neighborhood, you might not like it. To me, it's best to just wait, come here, do the Airbnb, go to La Casa Española in Calibo, stay there for like a month, like JP. I think he extended another month. And then while you're there, start looking. You're probably going to find a better deal. You're probably going to find a better apartment. I hope 80 square meter is enough. 80 square meter is enough, LOL. Like I said, I heard my house is 40 square meters. So 80 is double the size of my house. We got 4 people here living in our house and 40 square meter, man. You can maximize the area, 2 floors. Yeah, that's how our house. It's only 40 square meters, but our bedrooms are upstairs. So Mom and Leanna's on one bedroom, and Dazzle and I is on the other bedroom. You can make 3 small rooms upstairs. Yeah. Yeah, here in the Philippines, some of the rooms here in the Philippines, in the U.S., they won't even consider the closet. I've seen rooms here in the Philippines, a walk-in closet in the U.S. is bigger, but that's just how it is. Filipinos don't need much room. It's like, if it has a door, you can put a bed in it, that's a room. That's a room. We definitely need to hire an architect. Yep, that's easy, man. You don't even need, man, you can just, over here, a lot of people just like, if you have an idea in your head, a sketch you have in your head, architect, they'll just charge you money. If you know an architect, that would be good. But a lot of times you just draw what you want, and a lot of the builders here, you'll show the drawing. I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. The one thing nice here is, there's no building permits here. There's no inspections here. You can pretty much build anything you want here. Yes, definitely. Young Fresh. Only thing I am scared of is the landlord raising the rent every 12 months. Like they do. They don't do that here, man. Now, especially if you're living in Pandan and Ticket, they're not going to raise your rent here every year. That doesn't happen here. A lot of times, Young Fresh, you'll find out, since you're a foreigner, when you rent a place here, they're gonna want to keep you as a renter because you're a reliable income for them. You're passive income for them. It doesn't benefit them to raise the rent on you because unfortunately, a lot of Filipinos here, they get behind on rent. When I was renting in Calibo, my landlord in Calibo used to tell me all the time, Ginno, I wish all the tenants are like you because like me, first of the month, I'm there with my, hey, here's my rent. I had neighbors in that building that were like 3-4 months behind on rent. So you actually have like, what is that? Negotiating power as a foreigner, especially if you're renting a place because you're guaranteed money. You're not going to jump on your rent. They can report you to the Bureau of Immigration if you don't pay your rent. That it can cost you trouble. So they know that. Landlords here know that foreigners, when they're renting a place here, that's why at La Casa Española, the people that I moved there, Edgar, JP, Mel, Nefty, all the guys that I moved there, they don't require a security deposit. Normally, they require a security deposit, but because you're a foreigner, they won't charge you a security deposit because they know you're going to pay. If you don't, they'll report you to the Bureau of Immigration. You get in trouble. And most foreigners, when they're here, they don't want to get in trouble here, especially just because of rent. You don't want that kind of trouble. But based on what you're saying, they may not do it. Oh yeah, that's not a problem. Here in Antique province and Aklan province, guarantee you're not gonna worry about outrageous raising of rent like it is in New York. You're not gonna experience that here in the province. Maybe in Iloilo City, maybe in Rojas City because of the condominiums. More and more expats are moving in that area, but not here in the province, man. You won't. There's still not many foreigners here in Aklan province or Antique province. Even in Pandan, even that there's an expat community here, it's still small numbers compared to Iloilo or Rojas City. We definitely need a garage. The road in our subdivision is so narrow. Yeah, definitely. Like me, I leave my car and tricycle out there, but I think pretty soon here I have space for it. I'm gonna start putting it inside our area because more and more vehicles, my neighbors are buying vehicles, more and more vehicles here. But it's still okay right now. It's like not too bad, not too bad. Young, they won't raise as much. Exactly. Thank you, Fortune. They will be worried that you will leave. They rather have sure monthly inflow than none unrented. As a matter of fact, Young Fresh, I guarantee you this. You rent the first year, if you tell them you're staying another year, they'll lower your rent. You have that kind of bargaining power because you've already rented a year. They know you're consistent with your rent. You don't get behind on your rent. So if you tell them, hey, I want to stay another year here, can you lower my rent? I bet you they lower your rent. That's the power you have here as an expat, as a foreigner. Maintain a good relationship with the landlord. Share some food from time. Oh yeah, yeah. Good idea there, Fortune. Good recommendation. Oh man, yeah. You'll become friends with your landlord as long as you pay your rent on time. Man, your landlord's gonna love you, man. Like I said, when I was in Calibo, I rented an apartment in Calibo for 4 years. Man, my landlord loved me, man. As a matter of fact, my apartment, because I was at college, I was going to college, and my friends, my classmates in college, I had Wi-Fi, so everybody wanted to use my Wi-Fi, and sometimes we would get noisy, karaoke and all that. I was probably like the one that caused the most noise in that apartment building. Man, my landlord, it's okay, Ginno. People were like complaining about my apartment being noisy and all that. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Just keep paying your rent. Just keep paying your rent. Thanks for talking about the tip culture. I see the service charge. I assume that is enough and don't need to tip. Oh no, if you see a service charge, do not tip. Do not tip, man. That is enough, because like I said, that service charge that they put on your bill, there's not guaranteed that the waiter or waitresses will get that. That's just how it is here, man. Yeah. And then to me, it would be one thing if 100% that money goes to the server, right? If the service charge, but it doesn't. It doesn't, unfortunately, here. What is the temp today? Earlier, when I started the live stream, it was 23 degrees Celsius or 73 degrees Fahrenheit. But let me look now. What the temperature is now. It's warmer now for sure. Numancia, AccuWeather. Oh, it only went up one. It's 24 degrees Celsius. So that's about probably 75 degrees Fahrenheit. 80% of service charge goes to the owner mostly. Yeah, see, that's why I don't agree with that, right? Real fresh, it's like, why, well, if they're charging service charge, it should go to the server, I would think. But I know it doesn't happen like that here in the Philippines. In Italy, they have a per person charge of around €4 for the tablecloth. Oh, wow, wow! I didn't know that. I've never been to Italy, man. Jokano, they should have already figured in the service charge and other costs into the original price. A tip originally was to give a, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And plus, Joe, right? For me, service charge, to me, it should go to the server, right? It's like, it shouldn't be like preparing my food or the cook in the back, it shouldn't be, that should already be in the price of the food. But, it's a different thing here, different thing. I will be honest, if I probably pay a delivery person like furniture or something big to the house, maybe I will feel like I should tip or a moving company. But going to Starbucks, etc., for fast food, no, no. Yeah, yeah. I know at Starbucks they put that little box, little box like a tip box. Most restaurants here in the Philippines do that now. You see like a see-through tip box, and you see money in there. So people are like, you're tempted to like. And usually, like when I get change, I'll just drop my change in there. I get irritated paying too much for a meal plus service charge and several other extra charges that have been added over the years. Then they expect a large tip. I know that would be upsetting. At least here, Joe, you don't have to worry about that. It's not a tipping culture in the Philippines. If you never tip here, nobody's gonna say anything to you here. The waitresses, they're never going to be aggressive, or they're never going to be mad about not getting a tip here. For places at Camellia, can you rent and pay to add stuff to it, like water tank, air cons, even a generator, or... Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, I did a video. I wish I can send a link to the video to you, young friend. I don't know if we're connected on on Facebook or email, but I did a video of one house here at Camellia. It was $400, I think $400 a month rent, 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom, fully furnished, really nice. I did the video, and it actually got rented within like 30 days when I made the video. The person that rented it is an expat. I think I'm not sure if he's still there, but he stayed at least a year. He rented it for a year, and I know he didn't even pay $400. He was able to talk down the rent. And even though it was furnished already when he moved in, it didn't have a split type aircon on the bottom floor. The owner added it. A split type aircon, and he didn't have bars on the windows, and he wanted bars. The owner added the bars. Like I said, man, if you're a good renter, you got that power to negotiate, because they know you're going to be a good renter. They know you're guaranteed rent. They're not going to run into like a Filipino here renting and end up squatting or end up not paying rent for 3-4 months, and they destroy the apartment and they just move out. That happens here. I know that happens in the US too, right? They know that that's not going to be issue with an expat, because they know if you don't pay your rent within the month, within the agreed upon time, they can complain to the barangay. They can go to Bureau of Immigration, and you're going to be paying your rent. So they know that. That's why easily you can add generators, you can add Starlink, you can add solar if you want to add solar here, man. The owner, whoever you're renting the place to, they'll be more than happy for you to do that. I look forward to meeting you when I come there. Trying to come. All right, man. Yeah. If you come to, let me know. Let me know when you get here, Young Fresh. Be happy to pick you up at the airport if you need me to pick you up at the airport. Show you around. Show you around here. Be happy to do it, man. I can tell you're a good guy, man. I don't do that for everybody now, but I know you're a good guy. I've already talked to you before, man. I thank you for appreciate that, young friend. I think so. I think I provide good information, and then the people that I've helped, it makes me happy because it makes their transition here a lot easier. It's a lot easier when you have a friendly face, right? To meet you at the airport, take you to immigration, take you find an apartment. It's hard to do that on your own. It's when you come to a place in the Philippines and you don't know anybody, that's not an easy process to navigate. That's when you get scammed. That's when you get scammed here, man. Pinay, thank you, brother Ginno. You're welcome, Pinay Heart. What if it is raining heavy right now? You can call a trike driver to come pick you up and drive you to the supermarket. I know there's no ground. Oh yeah, the tricycles, man, here are amazing, man, because the minute there's a downpour, man, they got these plastic things they wrap around on the tricycle, and you just go in there and you go in the tricycle and you stay dry. You stay dry. The driver, they'll wear like their poncho, their rain gear. That's easy here, man. And from like Camellia, like I know Dazzle sometimes she don't want to drive Bumblebee because we don't have that plastic thing on Bumblebee. So she don't drive Bumblebee. She'll take a tricycle from Camellia, from our house here to Calibo, 30 pesos, 50 cents. It's only like 5 kilometers. It's only 3 miles on a tricycle, but 30 pesos, man. Because they're right outside the gate of Camellia. We have a gate at Camellia. We have the display Camellia sign. There's always tricycles there waiting for passengers from Camellia because they know there's people here that want to go to Calibo. Yeah, you don't need a vehicle here. Now, you'll see it, Young Fresh. If you live in Calibo, even here in Numancia, you don't need a vehicle right away. Even JP, he didn't need to buy a motorcycle right away. He just wanted to be able to ride around in his motorbike. But there's just so plentiful on the tricycles. And that's kind of like our Grab here. The tricycles, they'll take you anywhere here, man. There's really no route for the tricycle. There's not like a certain direction they go. They'll take you anywhere you want. How much is 1 month rent at La Casa Española? All right, 1 month rent. It's a fully furnished, 1 bedroom, 18,000 pesos. So, what's the 18? About $300, a little over $300, fully furnished on that apartment. No security deposit needed. For a 2-bedroom, it's 20,000 pesos. So another $36 gets you a 2-bedroom at La Casa Español. And I always recommend it because for me, I know what expats expect. I know what Westerners expect. And in Calibo, that's about the closest Western standard apartment that you're gonna get. They have hot water shower, just a shower, not in the sink, not in the kitchen, just a shower. They have those unit that has hot water. And there is problem with the water pressure sometimes because it's 4 floors and it's a big building now. They're adding units. So I think they're working on it. They're working on the water pressure. I think they're gonna add a pump or something like that. Is what I'm heard. But you have to time your showers, maybe early in the morning or late at night. The certain time of the day, the water pressure is low. But you'll find out with any apartment here. There's always going to be issue with any apartment that you live here. It's not the same like in the US, everything's efficient, everything works. A lot of times there's little things like that won't work. Or they even have their free internet. They have free internet, but the more users use their Wi-Fi, the slower it gets. So if you're a digital nomad, you can always get Calibo cable installed in the apartment at your own cost. a lot of the apartments at La Casa Española already have that set up, because my friend Mel from Atlanta, he works online, and that's what he had set up. So that's another $25 a month out of his pocket, because he wants faster internet. Or you can get Starlink. They have Starlink actually at La Casa, but it's on their fourth floor. They have a little cafe there, a little like function room, and then their karaoke bar. You can use that. They have Starlink on that. For that young, make friends with a handful of trike drivers and ask them. Yeah, that's another thing, young. Great suggestion for Fortune. The minute you like find a tricycle driver that you like, just get their number, and that could be your personal grab in Calibo, or you can just text the person, "Hey, Kuya, pick me up here," or "Kuya," and they will. They love, the one thing about Filipinos, especially here in the province, they like having like foreigner friends. They like that they can use some of their English, and they like to be friends, because they're interested to find out, what made you move here to like Pandan Antique, to Calibo. What made you move here? Or what do you like about the Philippines? It's just cool to them that they have a foreigner friend, a local guy here, and they'll show you around. They'll, I mean, you got to be careful now. Not everybody's a friend, right? You gotta gauge the people too. You got to be careful on who you associate here with, like with anywhere else, any place you live. But most of the time, you'll just meet good people here in Calibo. Crystal, maybe 20K, maybe within 20K. Good idea to get the numbers. Yeah. I think that's what Edgar did in the beginning. He picked a trike driver that he liked, and actually, I think that trike driver became Edgar's driver for the vehicle. Eventually, but now he's driving now. So he's. Good morning, Ginno. Hey, no problem. Castaway Drift, Michael S., my good friend in Dumaguete City. I'll watch your live stream later. I know, or tomorrow. I don't know if you do one today, but I always try to get in there too on your live stream. But Michael does like a live stream of Dumaguete City. If you want to boots underground, if you want to see like the everyday life, in Dumaguete City, Castaway Drift here, subscribe to his channel. He does like a live stream, every other day or most of the days, walking around Dumaguete City. I know many people are interested in Dumaguete City. I know that's a great place, a good soft landing if you're looking for a soft landing here in the Philippines. Good AM, Michael S. One more question. If you need to travel to the airport, can you get a car to bring you there, or trike? Trike, man. It's cheaper. Not many taxi or anything like that here, even in Calibo. Trikes are everywhere here, man. It doesn't matter how much suitcase you got too, man. Because the tricycles here in Calibo, man, you sit two people in the front, and you see 4 people in the back. So that area in the back, they can put a lot of suitcase there. And if anything, they'll put it on top of the tricycle. Man, I've seen refrigerators get moved on the tricycle. So there's nothing that they can't move on a tricycle here. They're professionals about moving things on a tricycle here. They move entire houses here in a tricycle. It's like you see, it's almost like a moving company. The tricycle becomes a moving company. You got stuff popping from the tricycle, refrigerator, washer and dryer, on top of it, they tie everything. A couch, you can see an entire couch in a tricycle here, man. And I'm not exaggerating. I see it all the time, man. If it's like 5 a.m. in the morning, say you leave from Calibo to MPH Airport, oh yeah, anytime here. The tricycles in Calibo pretty much all the way to midnight, they're still running. And then early in the morning, 5 a.m., 4 a.m., not a problem, man. There's just so many tricycles in Calibo, man. And if you're going to Boracay Airport, MPH, you say MPH, there's a vans. You can pick up that early, traveling that early already. You would have to get the vans in Calibo, and their transport, because the people leave early at Boracay Airport. That's why they have that service. Yeah, easy to get, not a problem to get, man. You won't run into problems like that, like earlier flights, later flights, not a problem here. And it's safe. It's safe here. It's not like, close to midnight, early in the morning, it's dangerous. Nothing like that. Nothing happens here in the province. And good, my friend, Master Fortune from Castaway. Hey, Levi, the future farmers of Aklan, another fellow Aklan province person here. It's a farmer here in Aklan. He's got chicken. He's raising chickens. He's got like a lettuce farm. Good morning, Dazzle and Ginno. Good morning, Levi. Calibo, you need to speak with the driver ahead because it's 5 a.m. Manila, no worries, 24 hours. It's no worries either here, Fortune, because like the public market, they open so early here. Like I know in Calibo, the public market at 5 a.m. is already going. So people are already, Calibo, for a little town like Calibo, it's pretty active early in the morning. Because of the public market, because of the fruit stands, they open up early. There's always a tricycle. Man, there's like, man, it seems like there's like 1,000 tricycles in Calibo. It's just so many of them. Young Fresh. Here in New York City, they passed a law that delivery drivers like Uber Eats need to get $20 per hour salary. I'm sure that will make the service charges go up. Oh yeah, I bet, man. Here, there's more and more like that delivery service, like similar to Uber Eats. I know even Calibo's got that now. People in motorbike, they ride a single motorbike. They got a box behind them, and they deliver food. I know there's like a couple of agencies now in Calibo. If I wanted to, like, let's say I wanted McDonald's delivered to me, if I wanted Shakey's Pizza, if I wanted things like that, I can have them deliver it to me here in Numancia. More and more people are doing that. Not expensive. Like I think the delivery fee is like 100 to 120 pesos, about $2 for the delivery charge. Suki, like in the market, if you go to the same vendor always. Oh yeah. I got my Suki Fortune in Calibo, and especially here in Numancia. I got places here in Numancia. My favorite fruit stand, my favorite vegetable stand, favorite places where I purchase. They already know me. I stick out anyway. I'm riding Bumblebee, and it's like I pull in there. I got place where I buy my eggs. I got place where I buy my pandesal. I got place where, I got my Suki everywhere here. I've been here for. We moved here in 2016 in Camellia, so 10 years now. We're going on 10 years living here at Camellia. I saw in one of your videos at the carnival, becoming Filipino was there. Did he really become a Filipino? Yeah, he's the only one. Not many become Filipino citizens here. It took an act of Congress to make him a Filipino citizen here because he's done so much promotion of the Philippines. Somebody in the House of Representatives, there's a Republic Act that made him a Filipino citizen. But the pathway to Filipino citizenship for like an American, very slim. You would probably have to give up your American citizenship, which would not make sense. I would never give up my American citizenship. I'm dual citizenship now, but it would not make sense for me to give up my American citizenship for Filipino citizenship just because of the benefits I've earned in America. Yes, Colas was naturalized by law. You need senator to sponsor. And the only reason because he's done so much promoting the Philippines. Wow, the owner added all that. Nice to know. Oh yeah, man, like I said, man, the owners here, man, if they know that you're guaranteed rent, you got that power. You got that negotiating power because if you know, hey, I need a hot water. You know, I need this. I need. They'll add to their place because you're guaranteed money, man. The Binyan Laguna Alonte was the house sponsor, and Senator Subiri. Oh, I remember Subiri. I remember that name. Was the Senate sponsor. If you are on a date in the Philippines, it might be dangerous to give a large tip to a waiter. Jealousy, maybe you're undoing. Maybe you're undoing. Yeah, yeah. No need to tip big in the Philippines, you know. Like I said, a 50 peso, less than $1 tip here will always bring a smile to a person here. You know, it's like, I've never tipped 50 pesos where the person didn't smile. They're almost in shock when they get a tip here. LOL, Joe. Haha, Joe, thanks for the tip. Thanks for the tip. Said hi, Levi. All right, Levi. Future farmers. Hey, Pinay. Hey, Young Fresh. Hey, thank you. Thank you for that super chat, man. Appreciate that, my friend. Let me put a heart on that. Let me see. All right, I put a heart. Great, Val, as always. All right, thank you. I'm happy to provide valuable information. Been beautiful day here. How about yourself? All right. Yes, the tricycle drivers have all the weather gear. When it rains here, they have quite the transportation to waterproof the tricycle. Yes, they will exchange for numbers, so you have your go-to. Yeah, it's easy, right? You know, it's like a good day so far. All right. Good to know, future farmers. Said Dr. Alexis Reyes in Asian Hospital. There you go. There you go. So you already got a connection there, Pinay Heart. Dr. Alexis Reyes in Asian Hospital. He is a developmental pediatrician. All right, man. See right there. Awesome. Thank you, Kuya Fortune. Right, Michael S. I know Michael S. has many trike driver friends in Duma. He has actually many local friends. Well done, Michael. Yeah. I see it all the time. You know, everybody's saying hello to Michael when he's walking around Dumaguete City. He even gets high fives from the security guards at the mall, man. This is a relief. Mike has a Suki. Oh yeah, the coconut, the buko guy, coconut water guy. A donut merienda. Hey man, that's the way it is, man. When you're a good person, you're gonna meet good people here in the Philippines, you know. Because people sense that. People sense that when you're a good person here. When you're one of the foreigners that are good people here. Because not all, unfortunately, you know, there's some foreigners, unfortunately, here that don't know how to act, you know. But most of the time, I would say 90 to 95% of the foreigners that are here, expats that are here, are good people. They just want to enjoy their life here. But unfortunately, there's that 5% that usually gives other expats here the bad reputation. You know, the ones that drink too much. You know, the ones that get loud, drink too much, and make a fool out of themselves. Oh, wow. So they have delivery services there. Is Grab there? Grab is not here yet, Young Fresh, but they have delivery services now in Calibo. I just forget the name. A lot of local companies, they started here in Calibo. I think there's 2 or 3 of them. I have their numbers saved on my phone. Like I said, if I don't know if we're connected on Facebook or on my WhatsApp, but we need to. That way, you can just ask me questions like that, and I can forward information to you. Oh yeah, because a lot of the restaurants in Calibo, you know, there's more and more fancy restaurants like Lanang Chinese restaurant. There's Ama Ramen, like Japanese restaurant that start, you know. You can easily order from there and have it delivered to your place. And I mean, Calibo is getting there, man. It's slowly getting to like, you know, the conveniences of the city is starting to like show up here in Calibo. Yes, Fortune, local people are absolutely amazing. I never imagined I've had so many friends here. We all make sure say hello and talk. Trying to remember everyone's name. I have family. Yeah, yeah. To me, I try what I do, Michael. When I talk to somebody, I always try to say their name. Like when I'm talking to them, mention their name in the conversation or something. That's how I remember people's name because I have to remember a lot of people's name too, man. Pandesal is like my favorite. I like to get it hot. Oh, same here, man. Same here. Tomorrow, I gotta get pandesal. I gotta get pandesal tomorrow. Nah, I would never give up. Yeah, exactly. That's how I am. The only reason I did the dual citizenship, I would have just been an American citizen here, living here in the Philippines. I could have done the balikbayan privilege, just left the Philippines every year. The only reason I got Philippine dual citizenship is because I went to school for 4 years and they were asking me for a student visa. So instead of the student visa, I just applied for dual citizenship. Live live. Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right, all right. Thanks, Derek. Thanks, Derek. I knew he was doing it like daily for a long time. Then all of a sudden, he's taking breaks, and which is I understand, man. There's like a lot of work, like walking, talking. It's like. Major, hi, Fortune Castaway starts around 12 noon, but rest day today. All right, rest day today. All right, thank you, Fortune. One day, Mike will get invited to a birthday or wedding with Lechon, the star of the party. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You look like Mateo. Mateo from Superstore series. I think I watched that Superstore series, and I didn't watch the series. I watched a few episodes of it, but I don't remember who Mateo is. I'll have to look it up. Vaughn, is there? Oh yeah, Grab, no problem. Grab's got Iloilo's got Grab food. That's a city. Anytime it's a city, they got all that. Man. You'll be spoiled in Iloilo City, man. You could be like laying down in your hotel or our house once you move there, and you got a craving for bachoy. You got a craving for kansi. You got a craving for a crispy pata. Middle of the night, they'll deliver it to you in Iloilo, man. You'll be spoiled there, Bon. Yes, right, Fortune and Derek. Rest day today. Going forward will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right. I'll remember that, Castaway Drip. Now I know your schedule now. I did recently go my first baptism and after party. I was so humbled to be invited. That same family also invited me. Did they make you a ninong? did they make you a godfather, Michael? Because that's usually the case. You get invited to the baptism, and there's like 4 or 5 sets of godmother and godfather. You become a ninong or ninang. Nice, Mike. When I thank them for the invites, they simply say, "You are family, Michael." That strikes a chord with me. So, oh yeah, man, I know, right? For them to just invite you, right? You're part of the family, for sure. My wife gets a craving with crabs and oyster. Oh, that man, you're gonna love Iloilo City, man. Because in Iloilo City, I don't think I think Grab is 24/7 because a lot of call center people, one thing about Iloilo City, it doesn't shut down at night because there's so many call centers. People work that graveyard shift. 5 in the morning. There's people out in the street. You've seen me on my videos, man. It's a happening place in Iloilo City, man. And you can have Food Panda, Grab Food. You got people delivering food to you at any time of the day, man. You're gonna have cravings for like the siopao, the giant siopao. That's a popular thing in. Me, I like Decos. I like Decos La Paz Bachoy. That would be my. When Daz and I lived there in Iloilo City for 4 months, and that was when I was going to my treatments, and Daz would order I think we went through every single restaurant in Iloilo City, and they were delivering it at our condominium. Street food all the way. Street food all the way. Nightly balut vendors on the street. You know what, balut? I remember doing a video one time, It's actually hard to find balut in Iloilo City. A lot of times you have to go to like the plaza area. Like for us, we were close enough to Molo, the Molo Plaza. The plaza area, no problem. Molo Plaza, Haro Plaza. But it's not the, they no longer like walk around and, they carry that basket, balut, balut. You don't see many of that in Iloilo. Usually, they find a spot somewhere in the city and you just have to know the spot, and then that's where you would get your balut. Not that I'm a balut eater. I'm not a big balut eater. Canadian living in Cebu City. Nice to meet you. Where are you living now? I live in Numancia, Aklan. Western Visayas. This is Panay Island. I'm in the island of Panay. It's made up of Antique Province, Aklan Province, Capiz Province, and Iloilo Province. We are known here in Aklan for Boracay Island. So if you look for Boracay Island, I live on the same province. Boracay Island is part of Aklan Province. The plaza will seem to be a nightly thing, Bon. That's funny. There are a lot of food at the plaza every night, man. It's like an area for street food, balut, you name it, chicken skin, all the fish balls, you name it. That's all at the plaza at nighttime. This is the Panay Posse. All right, the Panay Posse. All right, Bon. Your English is perfect. All right. Did you live in the West before? My good friend lives in Rojas City. Oh, yeah. I lived in the United States for over 30 years. I was in the United States military. I was in the Air Force for 20 years. Lived like after the Air Force, I worked in the civilian world. And then when I was 45, I moved back here to the Philippines. My daughter loves chicken skin. So does Leanna, man. Leanna I tell her to leave that chicken skin alone, but she loves it. She loves that chicken skin. Good friend. Rojas City is only about 2 hours away from me. We go there often. I got many videos. You can look at our playlist video of Rojas City. We visit our friend Michael and Kat and Laura. They live in Rojas City. You should visit Rojas City. Oh, wow. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. Thank you, Rain. Rain Bitcoins. Rain Bitcoins. All right. I'm going to end the live stream here. I've gone extra. I've gone longer than I usually go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone. I got busy with the comments. I had a topic. I never even got to my topic, but I'll do it tomorrow. I have visited. All right. Rain. All right. Take care, everyone. Everybody have a good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining the live stream. And everyone, please stay blessed. Please stay blessed.